Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District Board of Trustees. May I have roll call, please?
Mays here.
Yes, who's here?
Mask on here.
Falls, you have here, our secretary, Ms. Taxoni, is off supporting students elsewhere, and we miss her this evening, but we do have a quorum, so we'll call this meeting to order. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda if there are no modifications?
There are no modifications to May 23rd, 2024.
Almost.
I'll second.
Call to question.
Mays, aye.
Yes, who's aye?
Mask on it.
Falls, graph, aye. Is there public participation at this time?
Not at this time, Board President.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session where we may have conference with labor negotiators, discuss public employee discussion, discipline, dismissal, release, conference with legal counsel, or student matters? Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Call to question.
Mays, aye.
Yes, who's aye?
Mask on it.
Falls, Jeff, aye. We will adjourn to closed session at 6:33 PM. Thank you. We'll be back in a Sorry for the, you good? Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I was chatty back there as usual. We will convene the regular board meeting at 7:38 PM. We'll announce that Ms. Taxoni is not here this evening. She's supporting students elsewhere. We send her our regards and congratulations, hopefully. Mr. Sparks, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart, ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all okay? When conducting the district's business, we will strive to communicate clearly and concisely with respect for the time of others. We'll listen objectively, carefully considering the opinions of others. We will understand the counterproductive effects of disruptive and demeaning and intimidating behaviors. We will understand and respect district policies and procedures and maintain a respect for the rich history of the district and the efforts of others who have served in the past. We have nothing to report out of closed session this evening. Is there public comment?
There are no public comments this evening. Thank you.
All right, moving along. Correspondence, proposals and report at a route.
Was quick. Okay, thank you, board members, for this opportunity to speak. First, I'd like to congratulate our teachers who presented their reflective websites as a part of induction day today, and their coaches. Hats off to Nicole Chung for all her hard work organizing the event, and a big thank you to Mr. Falsgraf for attending that event. I'd also like to take this opportunity to publicly say thank you to our district administrators for working with ADA to address all of our concerns promptly. ADA believes open communication and respect for our teachers are crucial for student success, and we remain committed to fostering a positive and collaborative environment at all our school sites. Thank you.
CSEA rep, please.
Thank you. We finished an hour of negotiation and we're waiting for the results today.
Perfect, thank you. Student representative.
Thank you. As the school year is ending, everyone knows education is extremely important, but I think we're all ready to get the summer started. So I'll get through my report pretty quick. Starting with the elementary educations, the Little Owls Learning Center had today the Little Owls Spring concert at 9 a.m. to 9:30. That was, I'm sure, a blast to witness. I was sad I could not attend. Big support to all of the young students who went out and performed. It's not that easy. And then at Vasquez High School, the Meadowlarks going to have an oldies but goodies spring music concert and art show on Wednesday, May 29th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 4:30, so get there early because there is a bunch of food trucks, vendors, a magician, and much more to take in before the actual concert starts. So that should be a lot of fun for those who attend. Friday's field day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And on the 31st, Meadowlarks having their award ceremony at 8:45 to 9:45. Then there's also an assembly opera performance on the 31st from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Now, High Desert, the track and field had a meet against Knight High School at 3 p.m. today. I don't know how well they did, but with their history, I'm sure it was fantastic. The upcoming music and talent night is, my date seems to have lost me, at 6 p.m. I think maybe tomorrow, excuse me. Athletics Appreciation Night is on May 31st at 6 p.m. to celebrate all of the student athletes and their achievements. The 8th grade promotion is happening soon. The seats open at 5 p.m. and the ceremony begins at 6. we're getting ready to celebrate all those new upcoming freshmen. It's a big change, so we'll have to go out all out to support them. Thank you to the HDS Booster Club for the beautiful decorations and supporting the students throughout the year. At Vasquez, we had our grad night in past couple weeks ago at Universal Studios. It was a very long night, leaving the high school at 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. A lot of fun though, a lot of tired kids on that bus and a lot of other high schools there, but our students really enjoyed the celebration and spending time with each other in such a fun, unique way to go to Universal Studios. The Night of the Stars took place last night, and as much as I wish to sit here and name every single award given out, we don't have time for that, so I'm not going to. But you were all in attendance, so congratulations to every single student who received an award at that ceremony. Students work tirelessly for those awards every year, and their accomplishment cannot be praised enough. The Powder Puff game took place on the 15th, and the seniors and freshmen brought home a victory. It was a pretty close match, but it was a great victory for us seniors. The guys were fantastic, cheering everyone on. Finals week is coming up, which is a lot of pressure. Stress is high, but good luck to all the students taking on those finals. Get good night's sleep, eat well, try not to stress too much. Graduation is on the 5th. Be there or be square. There is also a free admission family movie night happening on the 31st, and it's going to be the Minion movie. But make sure you bring some money because there's going to be refreshments and games to play. You should bring your own chair to sit in or like a blow up inner tube. It's a really fun night and it supports the fundraising for our classes. And students and staff walked into Vasquez High School with the senior prank for this year, which I had nothing to do with. You can't prove anything. All of the students, no, you don't. No, you don't. I wasn't there. All of the desks had been removed from the classrooms and put into the quad to spell out a big 24. So no, I wouldn't know, actually. I wouldn't know. So congratulations to the seniors for pulling off a respectful prank, as much as some of them tried not to make that happen. But we don't know about that. I wasn't involved at all. And that's all I have. Thank you.
The Night of the Stars would have been half an hour shorter without your awards. Young lady, your responsibility is primarily to this board, so you graduating next week has absolutely nothing in my mind to do with your attendance at the June meetings. We have 2 there, and this isn't usually customary, but your work this year has been exemplary. You have defined a new role for the student rep that sometimes could be very difficult to navigate. It would be our pleasure. I'm sure everyone would agree. If they don't, I'll take care of that later. But you are invited to fill that seat until our official 23-24 school year ends in June. So feel free to come in and participate in the politics of all this. Anybody else?
No, it's great to see all the awards you got and everything you do for the school. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Outstanding job. We're gonna miss you when you're gone, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Aislinn. It's been fun getting to know you and it's done a wonderful job.
Thank you. And I will be here in June.
Now, my comments,
Okay.
we would not have been us without you this year. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Tonight, I'll focus on Goal 1, student achievement, Goal 3, community engagement, and Goal 4, student safety and connectedness. Starting with Goal 1, student achievement. Last Thursday, May 16th, we had a wonderful open house event at Meadowlark. Our students' scholarly work was on full display for all of our families. We're proud of our Meadowlark teachers, staff, and of course, our amazing students for their academic progress. Congratulations, Meadowlark, and thank you for your hard work. Next, a huge thank you to the Acton Women's Club tireless work in support of our students as they place a special emphasis on providing generous scholarships year in and year out to our qualifying 6 Vasquez High School seniors. This year's recipients are Marina Costin, Brett Dawson, Cole Keller, Zachary Levin, Leilani McClaus, and Marie Pape. Students, congratulations for being recipients of the scholarships. Each of you are on an amazing journey. Wish you all well. Like Cameron Aislinn mentioned, Vasquez Night of the Stars. Last night we were honored to be part of an annual tradition of recognizing student achievement. The Night of the Stars celebration was truly amazing. Vasquez High School honored and recognized excellence in honor roll future leaders, principal awards, departmental recognitions, including math and science, as well as excellence in athletics. And that's just to name a few awards that were given out. Their accomplishments that evening represents their commitment to their education, and they definitely proved that last night. We're thrilled and proud of each and every one of our students and wish you the best of success. Congratulations. And yes, we did include a picture of Aislinn as well for the slides. Goal 3, community engagement. On May 10th, we received a very gracious thank you card from the Friends of the Library, thanking our district for supporting their endeavors by providing student volunteers for their recent book sale. Thank you to the following amazing students: Austin Cameron, Grant Goodwin, Jared Pineda, Denise Saracino, and Ethan Vasquez. And a quote from the thank you card: all worked diligently for several hours helping us set up for the sale, and all had such great attitudes. We could not have done it without them. Thank you, Ms. Ramona Hall, President of the Friends of the Acton Agua Dulce Library, for your gracious words. And last but not least, goal number 4, student safety and connectedness. We know students with school spirit do more than show support for their school. They perform better academically, are more socially and civically engaged. As educators, we feel that high school spirit is tied to high student achievement. With all that said, tonight, we have a brief presentation by our Vasquez Athletic Director and TOSA for Student Support Services at Vasquez High School, Mr. Sparks. Vasquez has been very diligent in working on 2 projects to heighten school spirit at Vasquez High School. That includes Vasquez gym door wraps, as well as a Mustang mural in the main office. And without further ado, Mr. Sparks, please. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's good to see you. Thank you again for everything that you do for the district. Appreciate you very much. Okay. So what we have, the gym has obviously been a project that I've been working on for about the last 4 years. The second part of that is the door wraps is what we're calling it. We want to wrap the inside of the building, every door that you see. So when you walk in the gym, you'll see door wraps and you'll see logos and you'll see Mustangs and you'll see our colors and everything else. The other portion of this is the front office. And when you walk in the front office, it's a little bit dated. It's kind of my new office this year, and I just kind of noticed we don't have anything current. So we were looking to get a facelift on it. We want to paint the front office white. And then we want to put that mural right there. And that mural is the new logo that was adopted a couple years back. We want to keep that consistent. Up at the top, you have a border, and there's key words and phrases that kind of highlight the culture on campus. And we want that to go around the entire, where the secretaries sit in the front office, and then where the waiting room is as well. And so that whole area would need to be painted. And we talked to Dr. Sahakian about it, and he had some suggestions. And the artwork itself, we have some money that was donated by the Acton Women's Club and from the senior class that to pay for both of these projects. All right, the door wraps, these are kind of the ideas that we're looking for, and these are the inspiration that we're looking at. We want to do something that's very similar to that. And so what we did is we hired a designer. He came out and measured doors and gave us quotes and whatnot. And so if you look, the one on the left-hand side is the one that most kids are choosing. We're still running the poll right now. Again, we're incorporating the new logo trying to stay consistent in the gym. The double doors, we don't like. The Vasquez is split up. So we have new artwork coming out that's going to make Vasquez one word. So it's going to say Vasquez, and then underneath we Mustangs, but it'll be the same striping and the same kind of motif on that. All that ties in with what's up on the gym right now. This was one of the designs. A lot of the kids like the striping on this, and so we might incorporate this on one other thing. We don't like what they called the demon horse. So we're gonna like I said, we're gonna stick to the traditional Vasquez logo and not introduce another piece of artwork that's in the gym. And then we had a survey done it, and you can kind of share it. It's not done yet. You kind of click on it if you want. If not, no big deal. Oh, I'm sorry. We had a survey and so students voted on it, and so it's pretty close. It's like 56-44 right in that range. So do you guys have any questions? Which one was your favorite? Because you voted.
Yeah, I voted against the demon horse.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
You like it? Yeah.
I'll
No,
leave. So, okay.
it was a very hot topic, but I've cast my votes
Thank you.
and
Appreciate that, girl.
feel like most senior class has. The gym looks fantastic. I've gone to other schools and I'm like, oh, okay. But ours looks really good. And I'm excited to get that new artwork in the office because it is kind of boring.
All right, I will say something.
Okay.
No, yeah, I like the new artwork. We might want to add a men's, women's restroom sign.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it looks great.
Thank you.
I like the proposed changes. I think it's great. And thank you for taking that initiative to bring a little esprit de corps to the gym. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, and that's where we pulled a lot of those key phrases from. So we have some core beliefs, core values that are posted on posters around campus and whatnot.
Good work, guys. I remember the board that had to like talk about what their grandfather's barn was painted like in Norway in 1852. I don't want this brought back to the board for vote on what we like and what we don't like. I want a recommendation from the superintendent that is an informational item and not a vote. Can we all agree to that? Yeah, we don't
thank you,
vote
guys.
on this
Thank
stuff.
you.
You bring forward what your students want. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Thank you again.
That concludes my report. Thank you, Mr. Sparks.
Do we have any submissions?
There are no submissions this evening.
Okay, approval of consent calendar. I will make a comment here. There are a lot of different things on the consent calendar. There's curriculum quotes, there's all kinds of things. Know that we have the ability to look at these things before the meeting, prior to it, that they're all posted to the public before the meeting. And we actually had people vote for us to do this mediocre work. We're not trying to slip anything through. If any of the board members or the public want something pulled for discussion, please do that. Do I have a motion to discuss the consent calendar, please?
I'll motion.
Does anyone want to pull anything?
I'd like to pull the salon agreement, item K.
Okay, so do I have a motion to discuss all items and pull item K?
I'll motion.
Call to question on all the consent calendar items except item K.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, I.
Mascot eye.
Fallsgraf, aye. Do I have a motion to discuss item K?
I'll
Oh.
move.
I'll second.
Lester, this is your concern. Please open.
I'll need to recuse myself from this one.
Good. Anything else?
No, there's a presentation on items E8 through G regarding the new math curriculum on consent, please.
considering that we've already entered into action on this, can we vote on item K? Call the question.
Cameron, I.
Mezak.
Susai.
Recused, aye. So that's the consent calendar. Let's move forward with everything that you want to present now as an informational opportunity. We'll have no more discussion other than questions about whatever the presentation is.
Thank you. Items 8E through G, new math curriculum aligned to the new state adopted standards within California. The total cost is $512,000, funded entirely by the restricted funding source, which is a combination of restricted lottery as well as instructional materials discretionary block grant. The long-term maintenance of such curriculum will also come from the same restricted funding source, just as an FYI. Dr. Chamberlain, Director of Ed Services, she'll be providing a brief presentation on the math curriculum being considered this evening. Thank you.
Good evening, board, and thank you for the time. I will be brief. These were our program recommendations. It's just a brief overview of the adoption process for this year. So the first thing the team did was create criteria for evaluation. They look at alignment with the adopted state standards, the organization of the program itself, how we assess students, the universal access as it relates to all students, and instructional planning and support. And then this is just an overall timeline through the year, the different meetings that were held and how we interacted with publishers. And I want to thank the people on the committee that helped with evaluating and just sharing their input, and also going through the piloting program, especially our teachers, Sandra Hamilton, Adina Klaus, Janet Bugowski, Cassie Mahotz, Jana Walker, Chip Krolik, Anthony Salcedo, Krista Stump, Sandra Jacobson, Gabby Scheidig, Michelle Fernandez, Larry Rowland, and Jana Largent, and Nicole Chun. We really appreciate their input. Their input really is invaluable in us deciding to move forward. And so for Meadowlark, we are looking at iReady Classroom Mathematics and iReady Diagnostic. High Desert also is looking at iReady Classroom for Mathematics. It's a K-8 program. Accelerated Math, which covers the algebra and pre-algebra. And then again, the iReady Diagnostic, which is for both K-8 sites. It's an intervention. And then also Algebra 1, which is going to be McGraw-Hill. And then for Vasquez, the math curriculum will be Algebra 1 and 2, Geometry, all on McGraw-Hill Reveal. And then Cengage, Financial Algebra. And we also will be pre-calculus, graphical, numerical, algebraic, AP 11th edition, and then calculus for AP. So those are the textbooks that were chosen from the pilot. And those are our final recommendations. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
We already approved this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good?
Yes, sir.
Everything's good? Okay. It looks to me like we're on personnel action report. Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Board President. So on the par, one standout, we have for approval our new Vasquez High School principal for the 24-25 academic year, Dr. Raina Smith. A quick brief intro, Dr. Smith, if approved, will be joining us from Westside School District. She is a seasoned principal with a strong curriculum and instructional background. She is a strong leader with a student-centered focus. To top it all off, she is an Acton community member as well. So, thank you.
Is there discussion? Lester? Mr. Lewick, thank you. Thank you, sir. And I remember she's not new to this district. She was a principal at Agua Dulce. And she eased a charter into transition there many years ago. Not that many, not as many as I am old, but we know who you are and you've been exemplary in this district, not only now, but in the past. So call to question on the personnel action report.
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Falls Graph, I. Tentative agreement between AAD USD and ADA for the 23-24 school year. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
On behalf of the district management, I'd like to extend our sincere appreciation to both bargaining units, CSCA, as well as ADA for their good faith bargaining efforts in reaching a tentative agreement for the 23-24 school year. Mr. Vensko, who's been our lead negotiator, thank you. If there's anything that you'd like to share?
I'd just like to thank both bargaining unit teams. It was a pleasure to kind of work through the negotiating process. I was happy that we were able to come to agreement and, looking forward to next year. I know the team is as well. So thank you very much.
Discussion? Call to question?
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Falls Graph, I. Item C, tentative agreement between AAD USD and CSEA for the 2024 school year. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call to question?
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Falls Graph, I. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for being ever vigilant in the quality of service you provide, both associations, and being cognizant of a focus on the kids in this district, both in terms of salaries, benefits, books, facilities, all those things. I'm well pleased, and I always have been in my entire time on the board. Education and Pupil Services, A, annual statement of need for 30-day substitute teachers for the 24-25 school year. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
As an action item, we are required to have this annual statement on file, which indicates that the district intends to hire those with a 30-day emergency credential to go ahead and fulfill this need for the 24 and 25 school year, please.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Mask on it.
Falls Graph, I. Item B, resolution 2023-24.21, authorization to teach outside credential education code 44258.3. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it in.
Discussion?
Yes, this particular ed code provides that a teacher may teach outside of their credentials with their consent. For instance, this would allow for a teacher to cover an elective class such as yearbook, ASB, and other electives.
Discussion? Hearing none, call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Mask on it.
Falls Graph, I. See resolution number 2023-24.22, authorization to teach outside credential education code 44263. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
This particular ed code provides that a teacher may teach outside of their major or minor in a subject that they have completed a specific number of hours of coursework in a higher ed institution.
Discussion? Hearing none, call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, I.
Jesus, I.
Mask on it.
Falls Graph, I. Business Services, A, school board meeting scheduled dates for the 24-25 school year. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Second.
Staff recommends board approve 24-25 school year recommended dates for the board meetings. Thank you.
This is the time and place where you would have a discussion. There was an AV school district that they had somehow scheduled and they changed the date that they would meet. And it never showed up in a public meeting. And so there was kind of like an obvious violation of the Brown Act. Is the majority of the board find Thursday evenings an inconvenience to their schedule? Discussion? Hearing none, call to question.
Cameron, I.
Maze,
Mask on it.
Jesus, I.
Falls Graph, aye. Item B, AAD USD Board Subcommittee Assignments. I've waited 8 years for this. I've tried to push this through before. I will take the liberty of introducing this. And making some explanations. Nobody on this board up here has any right to give staff any direction. Does everybody understand it? Oh, you nod your head. Yeah. Okay. We each have a 20% stake in the superintendent. Sometimes we mean well, but the model I work in, I want to point something out. You see, this is a triangle. Everybody got that? Do I get an A in math for second grade now, right? Geometry. Yeah, thank you. In the world I come from, an organization like this one has a focus. It's at the peak of the triangle. Can anyone guess what our focus is? It's the education of children, which means education, more education, an independent future, and a successful future. And that includes helping people who may not be able to do that for themselves. That's a mark of what we are to produce here in our students. We should never forget that. At the bottom of the triangle are two groups. They're typically on the left or the right, whatever way you want to call it. One is policy and management. Let me make sure I've got everything the way it says. So you got the administration of policies that go with it. That's this person's job, and that's what the administrators in the school district does. There's also finance and facilities. Now, somewhere trapped in the middle of all that in a healthy system is the legal people and the HR people. They kind of keep everybody in balance. Now, sometimes we build schools, we do this, we do that. We get off track sometimes, and sometimes that's on purpose. You will find schools that are going through big building bonds. They'll hire a superintendent that is construction orientated. I hired this man. Guess why? It come time for an educational focus. Okay. So what happens is when this triangle starts to weave and bob around, do you know how trees stop from blowing around? They weave around and their branches and leaves all move independently of each other, so they develop a harmonious sway frequency. But when this triangle gets upset and people start doing this and bobbing and weaving, some variance is normal, like a compass. But when it starts getting turbulent, guess what? The kids come second and we lose track of what we're doing. When we all sit up here and forget that when we go to something like Night of the Stars and everybody collapsed politely, we're not up here to get the recognition. The students get the recognition through performance. None of us would have a job if the students did not come here and choose to come here and choose the classrooms. We need 1,400 students to be self-sufficient. Without the grants these people got, finance and facilities. Oh, I want you to notice, back of house is a casino term. I've worked for resorts. Did you ever notice that the paint on the buildings back here is as bright and fresh as the paint up front? When I was at the colloquium today, the energy coming off the table, I didn't need to hear what was being said. I can watch the energy. That's how I rate customer retention. That's my business. And so back to the board members, I'm taking a great amount of freedom here, but you know, whatever, I always do. We are not up here to gain votes by, dropping names and doing whatever we do during the election year. That disgusts me. If somebody starts dropping, it's an election year. Rate these people and vote people by what they do for the kids of this district, nothing else. But to be more effective as a board, I want the board, number one, to understand what we are here for and what the business we are in. And it drops into one of those categories. And I have wanted board member teams of 2 board members to fit each one of those triangle categories. If you look in your agenda, it says finance and facility, education, and policy and administration. So I'm going to name 2 people tonight after we find out whether or not I can finally get this pushed through. So board members, I'm going to ask for your consideration. Please recuse yourself. That you will support and adopt my subcommittee idea. So will somebody move besides me? Do I have a second? Can I have a call to question?
Mays, aye.
Jesus, I.
Fallsgraf, aye. Now, carrying on, did anyone notice that there are hundreds of houses being built up on the hill? Regardless if anybody doesn't, oh, Miss T, I will drive you out there this afternoon. You missed the appointment. They're happening. No one's going to shut that down. We're not the last people who are going to move into Acton. And guess what? There's going to be kids in them houses. And guess what? I want them in my schools. I don't want them in any other school. How do I know that they're going to be in our school? Our enrollment is going up. What that means, I'll turn Lester loose on you in a minute and he'll talk about branding and all this stuff. But the moral of the story is we are keeping our students. I'm going to violate the Brown Act right here. How many disciplinary percentage points am I hearing back there? That means stuff is being handled at the sites. I haven't heard any noise out of Miss Van Ornum's campus for years. It's starting to bore me. Mr. Lewick, exemplary. All of our campuses are handling business. And the most important one to me is Meadowlark. We are retaining our students. But when I was vice president, I asked for a focus on floor space. Do you know when I started here, and I don't care who likes it out there, let me rip some scabs off right now. There used to be rooms here that kids could go to. And this used to be a library, and we ripped it out so I could sit up here. How disgusting is that? We don't have the floor space to input all the kids we need. So we're going to get some, and we got some challenges that I don't want to talk about up here. There's some couple organizations that kind of watch what you build and all that kind of thing. But when you make errant decisions based on finding money somewhere because you can't keep your own kids, we've always had the same teachers. It was never the teachers. I want floor space. We've got to look at our reserve. We got to figure out where they're going. It will be my honor to ask Bill Mays and Lester Mascon to serve on the Finance and Facilities Committee. Do I have a motion? Somebody second it, please. Call to question.
Mays, aye.
Jesus, I.
Fallsgraf, aye. Let me make sure everyone understands. They are not here to circumvent staff. They do not go out and define and give staff direction. Their job will be to work with staff to develop a creative thing where there's not somebody out there holding themselves out as the only board member that has any influence. I want service from the board members. Bill, I don't want to put you on parade, but I have to. Tell me what you do for a living, please.
I'm a director of construction for large multifamily projects. So that's what I do.
Mr. Mascon, would you do the same?
President of a automation company for commercial buildings.
And I think we have a fine facilities team. The way this works is you'll have a meeting, you'll decide when to have a meeting, you'll have agenda. We're going to take the discussion and gossip out of the parking lot. We're going to put it in a room. When you have a meeting, you'll report back on a subcommittee report. So that means that you'll have to staff, you will put it on an agenda, subcommittee reports. At this time, I'm wanting to hold off on the appointment of the other committees, because one of the people that I would like to nominate on one of the committees is not here. And I really want to see this first one get off the ground. Without floor space, we cannot do anything in terms of self-sufficiency, financial independence, and taking things where they really need to be, in my opinion. I have worked 8 years to get this level, and I have the right people on this board now. Lester will be the president in the next round if everything goes right, unless he denies it. Each one of these people will move down the chair. I'm proud of that. There is no mono presidency here. And guys, it's about time to make this school district. We got the teachers, we got the staff. It's time to kick ass and build stuff and get them kids in our school. Thank you. And I swore, yeah, I do that. Are there any comments? Yeah, there should be. Go ahead.
Could you repeat all that? No, I'm joking.
There will be a test.
I don't have any comments on the subject. Thank you.
It'll be my pleasure to work with Mr. Mascon on taking care of this and getting more floor space, doing what we can.
I think it's a great change. I think it builds collaboration between the voices out there and us up here at the board. So I think it's much needed change, and I appreciate you leading that challenge.
You haven't seen your assignment yet.
Yeah, thank you for your vote of confidence. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there to make some real good things happen.
So now it's my comment. I am so tired of boards, and I see it everywhere. I work for a governmental agency, and I learned the system from where I work, and they have very fine customer service. But this idea that you have to come up here and sit in a position like this and hold your thumb down and portray staff as needing your expert tutelage when none of us knows what the hell we're doing about anything in education. And we can't be here to support people and other than to see our face on a campaign sign, that disgusts me. I think that this is going to work. Everybody stay in their lane and come up with some great ideas. This will spread out into community. I want kids to know our school is the best one for them if it is. Thank you all. Thank you, people. Now we got to approve a contract with LACO, it looks like to me. Okay. C, contract C 24067. 2024-25 with LACO for Best Advantage System for the 2024-25 fiscal year. Do I have a motion?
A motion.
Thank you. For business agenda items 11C through H, I'll defer to Mr. Vensko. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening again, board members. This contract is for our fiscal services financial system. It is provided by LACO and is serviced through LACO. And this is the annual contract for us to continue to use that software.
Any discussion? Call to question?
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
Susai.
Masco.
Fallsgraph, aye. D, contract C-23975, 5-year contract with LACO for HRS PSFS PC products for the 2024-25 through 2028-2029 fiscal year. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
I'll second.
Thank you. So similar to the previous agenda item, this is for our payroll and human resources software. This is a 5-year contract as we are working on a system implementation currently. So this is to cover us for the next 5 years.
Discussion? Call to question?
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
Susai.
Masco.
Falls Graph I. E, AB 1200 cost disclosure on bargaining units classified CSEA, certificated AATA, and unrepresented certified management administrators, classified management and confidential. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
I will take the liberty of telling you that in the public sector, you have to consider what the long-term effects of us voting. It's very easy again during an election year for me to try to get votes from most of the teachers who don't even live here to make myself look good without consideration of what that would do down the road. Government code protects taxpayers in different sectors. A municipal sector might be different than a school section, but this is basically telling LACO and the world how we have negotiated successfully with our bargaining units and how everyone will benefit. And this reveals the long-term financial impact on the budget. Is there any other discussion? Call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
DeSouza, aye.
Falls Graph, aye. Congratulations again, bargaining units. F, salary schedules for AATA. Do I have a motion? So I will take the liberty of introducing this as well. There are step increases that have been approved through the district. They're standard, and the impact of the salary negotiations affects these step schedules. Is that adequate add-on as you need necessary? Discussion. Hearing none, call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
DeSouza, aye.
Mascot, aye.
Falls Graph I. G, salary schedules for classified confidential and classified management. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I will say that this is kind of like the Me Too part where everybody kind of shares the pie. Before I call to question, discussion. Okay, I will make a point. Something that bores me is if there's this perception that this guy up here makes a bunch of money while everybody else suffers. Guys, if you think, whoever you are in this district, that you are the most important person in this district, look in the mirror and then realize without everyone around you, you would be a failure. Please consider that. So, any other discussion? Good, let's call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
DeSouza, aye.
Falls Graph I. Carrying on to H. Now we get up into the upper management leadership. Salary schedules for certificated management and salary schedules C, Y, and Z. Do I have a motion? Do you want to tell us anything?
Just that these, as mentioned, these are the effects on the salary schedule for our certificated management, psychologist, et cetera.
Good. I think we need those people, especially now.
Yes.
Discussion? Call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
DeSouza, aye.
Falls Graph I, it is my pleasure as board president to let every employee in this district know that we support you in every way and we agree with the work of the bargaining units, both sides. Item 12. Mr. Mays, will you give us your comments, please?
I will. Night of the Stars last night. It was great seeing all the students up there receiving awards, and how many there were. It's really good to see how well everybody's doing. Welcome, Ms. Raina Smith. We appreciate you taking on Vasquez. Sir, thank you for everything you've done. We very much appreciate you stepping in and being with that. And this congratulations to class of 2024. And hopefully you guys have a great summer and great future.
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I also want to thank the Vasquez High School, the staff, for putting on a great Night of the Stars. Very nicely done. I want to congratulate all the students who were recognized for their achievements. I also want to thank the sponsors, the donors for the scholarships, the Acton Agua Dulce Teachers Association, the Acton Women's Club, the Agua Dulce's Women's Club, the Hillary Blaha Real Estate Team, Jonathan Tanner Memorial Scholarship, and the Rusty Studs, who look like they just came out of the Yellowstone the TV show. Thank you to all of them for their commitment and dedication to our students. I also want to thank, of course, the interim principal. Thank you for coming back from retirement to take on this role, and welcome the new principal. I appreciate that you taking that challenge. I also want to thank the High Desert Miss Van Orderman at High Desert for the facilitating those nice field trips. Thank you, and Miss Jones for the nice open house that I attended. Appreciate all the hard work from you and your staff. Lastly, I want to point out during the Night of the Stars program, it was interesting to see that as the GPA average started to increase, the number of students started to increase as well. I think that's a testament to the quality, the caliber of students we have in our district, as well as the caliber of the educators we have in our district. Because you think the number would go lower, but it went higher. That was amazing to see. So thank you for that. Appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, just definitely thank you to Mr. Lewick for your time. Definitely helped us solidify the balance of the year, and welcome to you. We're very happy. Hope you're here for a long time, and welcome back, and welcome to the new role. Night of the Stars was a wonderful event. Always very happy to be there, and just truly amazing. Like you said, how many students were participated, and then just to see our community come out in support of all the kids. There's no shortage of generosity within our community, especially being as small as it is. That's it for me.
Students, your academic, your extracurricular, and your athletic endeavors, thank you so much. That's what makes this school. Staff, thank you for your support of students and board. Congratulations on your work. Aislinn, you've been an incredible part, and I would like to congratulate the superintendent and the management team by giving them a round of applause. Thank you. I support everything that my colleagues had this evening, and I will invite Ms. Taxoni to include her similar comments in the next board meeting. Future agenda items, we have the LCAP hearing and adoption. That's a standard piece. We have the budget hearing and adoption, which is put together. And then we have an open session discussion on charter school petition renewal overview. I've asked for that. I want everybody out there, including the charters, to understand what the law says, what we've been looking at, and what we'll be looking at. Finance and Facilities Liaison Committee, please arrange your ideas with the superintendent so your first meeting of the year can be agendized, or you have an agenda, what it is you want to talk about, you introduce yourself, have a public meeting, and make sure that that gets out to the public. And then once that happens, please, we'll get it on the agenda to report back. Do what you feel comfortable, stay in your lane, and congratulations on your new role. So there is a calendar. I guess I can't skip out now. Thank you. Number 13, the calendar, regular board meeting of June 13th, 2024. Is there going to be a problem with a quorum for that one? Okay. And the same for June 27th, 2024. Is there any problem with anybody attending that you can foresee? Good. Let me see here. It just crushes me that I'm going to beat Brianna's record tonight, but I will call for adjournment at 8:02. I mean 8:32. Do I have a motion?
I believe I hold the record on.
I believe you're wrong. I asked you for a motion. You are not on the agenda adjournment committee, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Do I have a second? Did somebody second?
We both.
Good.
You got a
Call,
third.
call to question.
Cameron, I.
Mays, aye.
Yes, whose side?
Mask on, aye.
Falls Jeff, aye. He is right. I wasn't there that night, so I didn't witness. It's all hearsay. Thanks, guys.